Okay, shalom, shalom, kwam yasha'Allah, koholoyim la, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Kahakodash. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to state the water to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai to the best of their ability. Shajah Khanan Nawak, just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And so I was checking out this article in Newsbreak. I'll just grab it real quick. We'll just show you. Let me see. Did I come out? I came out of it. Salakia. Let me see here. But it was this article, right? I can't be too far off. Right here. Look at this chick right here. You got this Shine My Crown. They, pretty much talk about, a lot of so-called black woman shit. But I didn't know I was half black until I was 16. Resurfaced story about race, identity, and belonging in America grips internet. So this lady, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how she can kind of, she could maybe go for a so-called white woman with a tan, so to speak, or she could look like she's someone else, but really she just looks like a so-called black woman, or maybe Northern Kingdom to me, but her mother told her that she was Iranian, which, she actually told her later on that, no, you're not Iranian, your father's not Iranian, he's actually a so-called black man. So which would make her, you know what I'm saying, from the tribe, she would be from the tribe of Judah. And so, went into the comment boards, of course, you got those Edomites in the comment boards talking all kinds of shit, you know what I'm saying, just pretty much down talking on Jake like how they normally do, you know what I'm saying, they don't have no remorse or mercy or empathy for what they've done to us as a people. They don't care. They actually double down on that shit. So that's why, they've shown no mercy. They're not going to get any mercy when it comes down to their captivity. So one person put in there, I forgot what they put, but it made me think of, well, your forefathers, the so-called white man, because they were trying to basically say that, you know what I'm saying, that the so-called black father, he would have been a deadbeat anyway, or some shit to that extent. But so I actually put in, did white slave owners put their offspring in the fields to work that came from the grape of the so-called black women during slavery, basically? And it says yes. White slave owners frequently put their own biological children to work in the agricultural field. So that's your original deadbeat dad. Right there, man. Right there. And let me get Psalm 64 and 8. Because the truth is coming out on this devil, man. He's being exposed. You talk all that shit, but when it comes to your history, you're about to celebrate your 250th anniversary. But a part of your 250th anniversary history is your offspring. You graped women. You graped the so-called black women, which you call your property, which you treated like shit. Then that offspring that will come from that woman is your seed, which would be an Edomite. And that's another thing, too. You got a lot of chocolate-covered Edomites out here. That's why you got a lot of Edomites out here that look like so-called white black people. Because it's not a color thing. That color shit don't have nothing to do. Black and white is a social construct. It has absolutely nothing to do with the ethnicity of a person. The Lord created 18 nations. Those nations are still on this planet to this very day, no matter what they may look like. But the Lord knows the spirit, man. And you can tell the spirit, too, because the Lord told us to read the spirit. We have an obligation to, we pray for that ability. We pray for that gift to read these spirits, man, to check that spirit. Because you might be talking to somebody that looks like a so-called black person, dark as hell, but they could be a so-called white man, a damn Edomite. So let's get, what was that I was going to get? Psalm 64 and 8. Because their own information, they tell on themselves. All you got to do is just pay attention. Look into some things. It's a simple Google question. Psalm 64 and 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. You think any of these Edomites will want to hear this particular history? This is American history. But they would get rid of this shit out of your museums. They want shit like this out of the books. You think they'll teach something like this in school? Now, they may say, because I've heard them actually say, well, that the children shouldn't learn things that early. Well, children learn how to go into the motherfucking fields and pick cotton. at that age. So why can't they know this particular type of history? Because it hurts the so-called white kids' feelings. Okay, well, what's really going to hurt their fucking feelings is when we put their fucking asses in the field. Because it's coming. It's coming, man. Matter of fact, let me get another one before I read off into that. But you get the point on it, really. You know, you read them comments, they kind of piss you off, but at the same time, too, you can't let that shit bother you, because Esau, he's just ignorant as hell. He's a big-ass kid himself. Isaiah 14, I'm going to just jump to the point, verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Who oppressed us? Esau Edom, the so-called white man. And he's going to get that same. Matter of fact, the scripture says give him double, though. So imagine the things that, now we're not going to be, graping their actual wives and, impregnating them and putting our seed in no fields. Because we understand that your seed is your seed. That's your child. That's your seed, man. But this man didn't give a fuck. He used Eve as a play toy. He went to get his rocks off, stanking. Motherfucker didn't wash up, tobacco all in his motherfucking mouth, trying to kiss on Eve, just stanking, nasty as hell, sweat dirty, motherfuckers that wasn't washing their ass. And he run off into them cabins and ease up on Eve and pound her down and leave his seed into her. And then those babies come forth, and he puts those babies, if they light-skinned, he put them in the house. If they were dark-skinned, he put them in the fields. And he worked them and he beat the shit out of them just like they were slaves as well. So you Edomites, you don't have nothing to say about righteousness, man. You're a wicked-ass people, man. Revelation 13, we start at verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And this is what we're faithfully and patiently waiting on, man. We're patiently and faithfully waiting on this, man. Because when you see the way Esau talks, it's like it infumes you, man. But we don't let it, get us out, outside of our, let me see. We don't let it get us all out of hand. Revelation 18:6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled to her double. Yeah, man. And you're going to drink of that cup, man. Let me see that precept. It might be in here. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Let me just go back, though. Let's read a little bit more of what AI had to say about what this man done, man. And it was a Latin quote for it, too. Here's the Latin quote. That's how you know these are the Edomites. Every day I'm sitting here doing a lesson, I see, and this is I said it again. It's a so-called white chick with a full fucking beard. She done transitioned into a so-called man, right? Full-fledged beard. Used to be a cute little blonde chick. And that shows you how weird and wicked these motherfuckers are, man. Salakia. Anyway. I was sitting here doing a lesson yesterday, motherfucker walked by me. I'm at the plantation on Salak. This motherfucker is at the job, just walking into the men's room, because the bitch can't go into the women's room, because now you look like a full-fledged nigga. So she can't go in the women's room anymore. So now you got to go in the men's room and sit down on the stall because you don't have no rod to go stand at the urinal. So you got to sit beside these nasty-ass white boys in there taking the meanest shit. Come out and don't wash their damn hands. Just disgusting, man. I can't stand these people. Anyway, it says, under the legal doctrine, Partus sequitur ventrum. That's some Latin shit, which was universally adopted across the American South. The legal status of a child strictly followed the legal status of the mother, and that's this is him framing words. But matter of fact, he frames mischief by law. Let me see if I can find I know it's one in he knows full well that's not the way that goes, but that's him with his law, with the Bible in his hand. You know that Psalms 50 and 16 says, what is thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy hand? They done that with the Bible. These were Christians that done that. That said, you know what? Yeah, I banged her. That's my seed. I left my seed in her. But that ain't got nothing to do with me. The original deadbeat fucking dad. But they'll put you, Jake, on TV as the mascot of men that's leaving the children. But he set it up, the plan, to get you to leave the children, the whole family to begin with. So this man, he's being exposed, man. He's being exposed. The Lord is really exposing this man. Isaiah 10 and 1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. See, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey. See, and that they may rob the fatherless. So he double robbed his own seed, basically. But let me get another one real quick. Micah 2 and 1. Woe to the oppressors, as I was entitled. Woe to them that devise iniquity. Matter of fact, let me read it in the Amplified. Woe, judgment is coming to those who devise wickedness and plot evil on their beds. When morning comes, they practice evil, because it is in the power of their hands. And that's what Esau does, man. He sits up, he thinks of a bullshit to come up with to fuck Jake over, and then he gets up and he handles business. He puts that shit into writing, he puts it in the laws. The next thing you know, he's oppressing you even more. So you, Jake, man, y'all gotta wake up and see who this motherfucker is, man. This is your enemy right here. Yeah, what happened? Okay, bet. Let's get a little more. It says, let me get that part back. Under the legal doctrine of partis sequitur vetrum, which was universally adopted across the American South, the legal status of a child strictly followed the legal status of the mother. Because the mother was an enslaved person, any child she gave birth to was legally classified as property and a slave from birth, completely erasing any legal recognition of paternal lineage. That's an Edomite for you. This is your friendly neighborhood so-called white man. This is a part of your 250th anniversary history. No, but they want to tell you about how great of a country this is. Oh, forget about all that stuff. Look at our accomplishments. Yeah, your accomplishments is GMO food, ultra processed foods, fucking people up, your obesity levels. Your accomplishments is all your pills. Everybody on 2, 3, 7, 8, 9 fucking pills. Your accomplishments is this bullshit air quality that we have. Your accomplishment is this internet, you know what I'm saying, that's pretty much overall done killed your damn kids. They're not social. They can't speak. They don't have no social nothing going on with them, man. Everything that you have created, it was designed to kill, steal, and destroy. That's it, man. Okay, it says the treatment and labor assignment of these mixed race biracial children generally fell into 2 distinct categories. Field labor. The vast majority of slave owners did not officially acknowledge their mixed race offspring. These children were treated strictly as financial assets and manual laborers. So what do you think about these elite? Or what do you think about these politicians? You know what I'm saying? That you think that are so for you when you go and vote. Them motherfuckers think like this. They don't have your best interests in mind. And it's a good thing that you Americans are falling, man. That you so-called white people are going through all the shit that you're going through. And it's going to get worse. We applaud America's fall, man, and seeing you suffer. So you, Jake, man, you don't have no business feeling sorry for any of these people. These are wicked-ass people, man. And they don't have no type of nothing for you. Right? So it says these children were treated strictly as financial assets and manual laborers, regularly forced to perform back-breaking labor in cotton, tobacco, and rice fields alongside other enslaved people. And you better know, see, Jake had more sense back then too. They knew that your ass was a tear. They knew that you wasn't one of them, wasn't one of them. So actually, Esau, he doubled up on fucking up his own offspring. Because first off, you not treating him like you treating him like shit. And then he's in the field with the other slaves being treated like shit because Jake knew. Jake wasn't going for that, even though he might have been, amongst them. Jake had already knew, nigga, you the seed of the devil. And a lot of the times, them would be the ones that would be in the big house snitching. Because a lot of cases, the so-called white man would show him a little bit more favor than he would, especially if they were light-skinned, Because some of them actually turned out to look like him. You got a lot of so-called black people out here, blonde hair, blue eyes. That's why, when you go into, let me get Numbers chapter 1 real quick. When you go up into the ethnicity of people. Because the way Esau was trying to tell you that the mother had everything to do with this, but it's really, the father is the seed carrier. Your children are what the father is. Ethnicity has nothing to do with the mother, no matter what the children come out looking like. Numbers chapter 1, let's just jump to the point. Verse 18. It says, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees. That's your family lineage, your pedigree, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward. So your seed line goes to your father, man. It doesn't go through your mother. Your mother is just, basically, when you go into the word husband or husbandry, it goes into pretty much a field worker, so to speak. So the man, what he would do is when he gets on top of his woman, he plows into her. Just like when you're looking at a tractor rolling along, it's thrusting through the dirt. It's plowing through that field, breaking it open. And that's exactly what happens with a man and woman. That man plows in her because she's like soil. She's like the earth that's giving that seed the nutrients that it needs. He plows into her. He leaves his seed. And then, you wait the time period out, the 9 months or so, and then out comes the seed. And it's exactly what he is. It doesn't make no difference what the ground is, because the ground can be a black woman, white woman, Chinese woman, Japanese woman. But whatever that man is, that's exactly what that seed is, man. And it's really very simple. But you got these stupid, doofy Americans with this mixed and biracial shit. And that's Esau, too. He came up with all that shit, too, to confuse you, man. This man is, he's a confuser. He's the devil. He's adverse to the scriptures, man. It says commodities for sale. This is next on the bullet point list. This is what he would do to his own children, his own seed. Because these children were legally recognized as property. Enslavers frequently sold their own biological sons and daughters to other plantations or to the slave traders to turn a financial profit or settle personal debts. This is your original deadbeat dad right here. This is him. This is him, man. He's being revealed. The scripture says that the man of sin, the son of perdition, will be revealed before the Lord's coming, man. And he's being revealed. That's Esau. Next on the bullet point list, what he would do to his own offspring. Domestic household friction. The presence of light-skinned, mixed-race children on a plantation was highly visible. Reminder of white masters' sexual infidelity and exploitation. White mistresses, yeah, you was in trouble with that white woman. So really, your whole, if you was in I mean, damn, you triple fucked up, man. Because first off, he treats you like shit. The other slaves would treat you like shit. And then his wife would treat you like shit because she know that this nigga done been out here in the damn cabin fucking Emma and them. She know. That's why them so-called white women, man, they had a lot of super duper built up anger for you so-called black women. And the so-called black woman, it wasn't nothing she could do. What was she supposed to do? He coming in, he taking the box by force. But the so-called white woman, oh man, I couldn't even imagine that, boy. It says, white mistresses often harbor deep resentment towards these children, which frequently resulted in harsher physical discipline and more grueling labor assignments to remove them from the main household. So, in reality, that's kind of like a precursor to what Esau is really going to get. You are the original slave. You're part of, you know, your slavery is going to be similar to shit like this here. You're going to be hated from every fucking angle. So this was a taste of Edomites getting slavery, but not on the level of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But he got a taste of it. But he got a taste of it because of his own fucking father, man. Here you go. You got your seed in the fields, man. Working hard as hell. Right along with some other niggas that don't even fuck with him. Like, man, I ain't fucking with you. Get your ass out of here. You the seed of the devil. Then you got to deal with your stepmom, basically. Because really, in reality, if Esau was really so Christian and he was about the scriptures, instead of committing adultery with this man's woman, so to speak, because he was popping all the virgins anyway. So those virgins that he was popping, by the scriptures, those would have been his wives or his concubines. He could have just, if he had any type of balls about himself, he just told his bitch, look, these my bitches too. Shut your ass up. This is my domain. This is my kingdom. This is my plantation. I fuck whoever I want to fuck. This is all mine. But he didn't do that. And this was a ongoing thing. Master was hitting all the virgins. If you ever seen, if you've never seen this movie called Mandingo, look at it. Check it out. It shows you how brutal fucking Esau was. That was the 1970s. It gives you a little bit of insight as to how brutal Esau was. You know what I'm saying? But